Good morning. Oh, from my new flat, my new place. Won't say where, I'll just say I was placed here by the council, and this place I'm very familiar with. It's near an old mate of mine. And I was just talking to my neighbor here, we're always talking deep stuff because, we all got a lot of problems going on in our lives. Man, we all do. I heard him on the phone, like we were in there playing video games, and we're just hanging out. And I'm like listening to him, I'm like, dude, I understand. Yeah, oof. I feel you, man. Yeah, I agree, dude. Yeah, she is yelling and screaming in front of the kid too. Yeah, I see you're trying to settle it down, man. What can you do? She keeps calling you. Ooh, yeah, maybe keep your phone off. What if you block the number? Oh, then she starts hiding her call number and it comes through anyway. She has unlimited. She has unlimited minutes. Oh my gosh. Feel for you. Actually, oof. Been there. I've been bothered one at times. I try not to bother anybody. I really try not to. I mean, it's like I was saying, the Hippocratic Oath, do no harm. How about one step more? Try not to bother anybody either. Live and let live. Ever heard of that? Kind of hard when you're also competitive by nature and then by society. I mean, all of you are. Don't you realize you're all competing with each other now? That's how everyone's acting. Even among families. What can I spare? I can't spare anything right now. That's competition. It's about sharing right now. More than ever. I mean, shit, if this is really gloom and doom apocalypse pandemic 2020, this is how y'all reacted. Where's the humanity? Why are we all coming together? I'm mind fucked. Oh my god. Isn't it obvious? Oh. But yeah, we were talking. It was morning here, and I was just asking him for some papers, and he was rolling this massive king zoot. And he's like, I'll give you a couple bucks, but you just share in the morning. And we ended up, just because I was like, thanks, man. Blast, thanks. And we started talking real deep. We ended up just sharing it back and forth. He's in my social support bubble. And he was talking about, and he was laid down. He's like, it's basically he likes to go back to sleep. He likes to wake up and have that whole thing and go back to sleep. But now he's at half bed, so he's kind of like laying there and talking. And I'm like, well, I mean, you're laid down right now. Like, you went to sleep. And this is your dream. It's a lucid dream. It's a dream. Your life is a lucid dream. Like, when I met Hannah, she was saying she lucid dream in her sleep. And she builds stuff and it stays and becomes permanent. And, but a dream world, that she can return to. And she would escape that way. And they started medicating her, and she was losing that. She had a song she wrote and said, I'm not lucid anymore. It's a song on SoundCloud, Lucid by Hannah, and it's hard to find. It was about what she was going through when the police were separating us, and how much she was missing me. And I showed the police that. I mean, the police have been arresting me on suspicion of all kinds of things. Like, every time someone makes up a rumor about me, or doesn't understand something and then involves the police. You should only ever involve the police if you need to clear up an misunderstanding. If there's something that might get you killed and they need to be informed. I mean, that's it for me. When people have gotten so aggressive with me after me repeatedly telling them to stand down, cut it out. And sometimes because you're so aggressive, the only way to do that is to, dude, you're being a cunt right now. I'm sorry. I'll just say it. Wow. I usually have like this whole dissertation on the how and the why before I throw that word down and pedal off. I'm like, you, and they're just silent. They're like deer in the headlights because I'm just using my words and punishing them. And then dropping that word, calling me that, like, oh, you. I don't like to overuse it. Only for special occasions. Because, I mean, I do believe in, talked about this before, my kind of, oh, guys, later. Damn it. They'll let me know. Maybe I have it back up. Yeah, there's a black swan. Alright. Oh, speaking of which, his lighter is how fitting. Follow your dreams. Follow your dreams. Clipper. It's the dreams sentences 2 out of 4. Boop. Row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, life is but a dream. I mean, the point is, take it all seriously. And at the same time, in order to survive that level of seriousness, make sure to adopt all the right perspectives to where you can eventually just have a laugh at everything too. If life is pointless, then point taken, say amen. To quote my friend Keith Buckley. Who also said, for some reason I just, in conversation, I said, well, our mathematics and our faith are just ways of devouring space while we continue to devolve. So our mathematics and our faith are just ways of devouring space while we continue to devolve. Just because it was perfectly in what I was saying anyways, I was just talking about how we can devote our entire lives to understanding everything that's out there in every way mathematically and define the laws of physics and have a theory of everything that connects relativity and quantum mechanics, and we can find all the star systems in this great vast universe that we could ever, if we just had faster than light travel, we could get there, and it would still take, well, it would take generations. All this planning for future generations instead of taking care of the one we're all in. Everyone is now, I mean, the COVID generation, or, that's what thing defines a generation. I mean, you have the baby boomers that were defined by, and you have the people that went. What are the big struggles that everyone collectively went through at a certain time, and how do people respond to them? You have the hippies that came out of things that are like, we're never letting this happen again, and we're just gonna get fucked off by ourselves. We don't take away our drugs. This is how we go. We're having fun. Leave us alone. We're doing festivals. All these people are in festivals. Yeah, man. Let's get away from it all. Woo! Let's put the music on. Yeah. I'm supposed to put music on again because you know me. Start smoking this stuff and it just tells me you gotta share it. You know, I said, my mother always said, don't waste a high. Don't you're on a high. Don't waste it. Share your high. Oh. How many roads must a man walk down before you'll call him a man? How many seas must the white dove sail before you'll sleep? Yeah, I have your lighter, bro. Yeah, is it about the lighter? I got your lighter. Oh, yeah.
There's a cleaner gonna come there.
Huh?
Red hair.
Yeah.
Slide up my number. I can't do it. Every time I go to do it, I shit myself. But slide up my number. She got red hair, grey leggings.
I met her yesterday. The one with the red hair. Yeah.
The one with red hair. She come yesterday. Oh well, that's my number. Give it to her. What's today? Wednesday, Tuesday.
If I see her, I will.
She won't be here today. She was here yesterday.
I'll tell her. We just
tell her the one that always goes red cool.
But I'll stick mine on there too, and I'll just say this is a good reason. If she needs anything from us, or if she notices anything that's not right that we can help with.
Tell her there's something not right with. Tell her there's something
your number
right
will be
with
first, and then I'll put mine under it.
Yeah,
then it's casual.
Did she come yesterday?
Yeah, it was yesterday.
I think. Missed that.
Yeah.
The first day you was here? No, did she come yesterday again?
Second day I was here. It was yesterday, yeah.
No, so yesterday she come, so she ain't coming today.
Yeah, it was yesterday. Yesterday morning, I was up early.
So about
tomorrow.
Yeah, they come about 8:30, didn't they?
Huh?
So they come tomorrow, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah.
So it'll be tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe. But it's a different person sometimes.
Yeah. Just give it to any of the women. Any of them two.
Oh, just next time I see her, I'll.
Yeah. Yeah. Be like, that's say it's the one. Say it's the one.
Yeah. I'll pop 6B on there.
Yeah. No, don't put. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, so she knows. Yeah. So she knows it's you.
Go on. Let's do this.
Otherwise, she might think it's me. You know? She might think I'm Jay.
Yeah.
If I just hand it to her, if I just slip it to her, she'll think that's me.
Hey, this is only get one day.
Jay, she doesn't know you, so she'd think it was me. If I just slipped her this, she'd think it was me.
Like, she knows who I am.
Okay, alright, I'll pop 6B just so she knows for sure.
Yeah,
she might think I'm Jay too.
One day when she's cleaning.
Maybe I'm James and I go by Jay. She forgot.
And then when she's cleaning one now,
maybe she thinks that's a T. Look, it kind of looks like a T. I told her my name was Thomas. It looks like a fancy T. I was saying I can't just slip it to her. I'll tell her.
Yeah, go on.
And I'll pop 6B on there so she knows. And like I said, I'm gonna write mine down so it's not weird. I'll write mine down too. And say,
I want it to be weird.
I know, but then she had. I know, but then she.
Put sex in.
Oh Jesus! All right, I'll tell her that was your idea.
Yeah.
And I also pop mine down.
Yeah, but imagine if she's
to make it not weird, I'm popping mine down too in case any new maintenance concerns.
Imagine she's into me and she comes in like that and I just bend her over.
Oh jeez.
Stick it in her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Done. Right, I'm down.
Okay.
I'm gonna think about that part.
Alright. Okay. Oh. I would rather beg your forgiveness than solicit permission. That's another line. Oh, cool. Got that later. I'd rather know that it broke your heart than doubt that it will. That's the next line of that. I'd rather be a babe in arms than a bull in a china shop. I think there's another line. I was talking about this one. It's like a tunnel painted on a brick wall. And when the crowd arrives in droves, they won't question the depth at all. And I feel that way every time someone treats me like I don't exist at all outside of just their narrow, limited interactions with me. And they don't question the depth of the person that they're saying that to and doing that to. Dude, do you know what I've been through? All of it. Oh, God. I did just lose my best friend. I'm still allowed to be grieving, everyone says, as they grieve their whole lives. But just because I try to contain it all and still do good, like that recycling cans campaign in Brighton that had the rainbow, it said do infinite good, and I was like, lovely to see that written somewhere. Hashtag do infinite good. Great, that's lovely. What a great and the rainbow, and everyone was taking pictures of it, and I was happy from it. Like, oh, look, nice reminder popped up in Brighton. Sang some songs around it, trying to spread some cheer. Just here to spread some cheer. Here I go. I've landed just here to spread some cheer. And everyone turned on me. Last autumn before COVID plus Brexit things combined, everyone was like, oh, he's from America. I'm in my rental car, and I was like, oh, he's from America. Oh, was it really so crazy up there? The BBC says, the BBC says, the BBC says. I mean, without even saying the BBC says, I know what they're consuming out here. I see it. I went to UD Sussex for a little bit. I saw what they're consuming, we're all consuming. We're all consumers. It's a consumer culture. Not just consumption of, it's like you are on display with your consumption of everything, in what you wear, how you dress, in what image you're trying to put off. I saw something else, I can't remember what I was watching, but this guy, we're playing GTA 5 and Trevor, and somebody else recently said, you remind me of Trevor. I was like, oh, it's from, and I was like, I kind of remember a little bit, but I wasn't paying too much attention to that game earlier, and wow, man, you just keep switching between storylines and stuff. It's cool. This Trevor guy, there's this bit where you're just driving and they're just like, no matter how bad you're driving, he's like, oh, good. Well, anyway, and he's like, how I dress is how I dress. How I dress is whatever was at the shop when I needed it. And that's like me. It's like, how I dress, whatever. I have one outfit right now. Get over it. Everything's been pillaged. Lost everything in the scuffle. He was saying. Great scuffle of 2020. Lost everything but my bones. In the great scuffle of 2020. I've earned my, it's been there a while and it's been fitting here. But, earned my stripes. And I don't know, there are a lot of people that resonates with, and we're just like, oof, how much more do you want to take from me? When can I get out of that? But yeah, referring back to what I was saying earlier, the answer is now. When you realize that life is a waking, lucid dream, you fall asleep and you have this little preload mini dream that you can pay attention to or not. It's reminding you about some things you haven't thought about in a while, and you, oh God, run away from that. Oh. Disconnect. And wow, the damage you cause when you're disconnected. Oh. Or I either never remember my dreams and I just fall asleep and I wake up, basically, is all I remember, into my lucid dream. Or I remember a little bit and it's the stuff I was thinking about the night before. When I laid down and ended one chapter in my lucid dream. My fairy tale. A lot of times it was detailed plans about the day. Like, I wake up and like, whew, yeah, all right, that's solid. I'm going with that, and then I go out there and I encounter your non-lucid dreams. And they're all so self-centered. And when they say social bubbles, I've heard so many people say, I can't trust anyone else. I can't even trust myself. So your own first social bubble before you enter anyone else's is yourself, and you don't even trust yourself, and you're just saying that openly. So at this point, from these perspectives I take, how can I not just walk around and look at children screaming out for help constantly in all their actions too, treating it with alcoholism and depression, treating it with depression, I'm saying, before you even talk about treating depression. Depression is a feel-good comfort club. It's self-pity. I'll say it for what it is. And then, because you misdiagnose that, you start treating your depression often by self-medicating, and you put another layer on this with drugs and alcohol. And a lot of you don't use the substances the right way. They're all there for a reason. Everything in moderation, they say. The good life. But until you wake up into your reality as your only one-shot lucid dream, that there, by the grace of God, whatever that may be, you have for now. So stop wasting it. And on that note, I sing that song I sing again. There's a best segue to this song I've done yet. Spoken. And the album begins with a song of rebellion. I thought of that one because it's Max Bemis and he's saying, I got to record a spoken word introduction for the album. And he's like, yeah, go for it. He's like, well, it's only a few lines, but I'm having anxiety about it. And the guy's like, oh, no, you don't need to write it. Just say it. And he's like, and the album begins with a song of rebellion. And then it goes, and the album begins with a song of rebellion. I don't have that one prepared. But that boy, he's got whoa. Please take me out of this body, up through the palm trees to smell California and sweet hypocrisy. Float in my senses, awake to taste, smell that ocean burn. Max Bemis, thank you. You know, this is what I do with my life. Yeah. A little bit better. All right. The color of an afternoon, just like when you were 5 years old. The moon over the ocean I've seen from an island evening. Progression that starts to lose its meaning. We have spent most of our lifetimes dreaming. And dreaming is the state that we shall keep. The stories of our solitudes will sing themselves to sleep. And we will sing to everything, the stories of where we have been, the history that's coursing through our veins. No, nothing factual is written on a page. So surely and so steadily, a slowly moving cloud will whisper, I am up for hours more to last. Your soaking future is my foggy fading past. And so now, if you want to wish upon me fast. Whatever can be held in your heart is surely yours to grasp. So you wish for a picture of all of the people that you've had the pleasure to know, or a postcard from all of the places that you've ever wanted to go, saying you are here now on this magical night. The sun and sky at sunset, well, it's such a stunning sight. You can sleep safely and soundly, and you are alone. And nothing ever does begin like nothing ever ends. Ask every atom in your body, and they'll surely tell you, friend, I'm old as time. You are made of everything you love. You feel her kill, I will outlive you and forgive you and be just a baby. Still. I mean that in every way possible. Oof. And be just a baby still. Come on. Shall I have to grow up so much? Whatever that means. We all had that comfort once in our lives, didn't we? It's all like we're all raging against not having that comfort ever again. When you can just choose to have it whenever you want and be just a baby. Still. Settle down, everyone. And everyone's just fucking chattering out their anxieties, and the media's reflecting it, and it's like this dome over your heads is just gloom and doom, and you look up at the sky and you're like, oh my god, the time's right. But no one actually reflects and decides to put something else up there instead, a Banksy, that whole thing. Yeah, maybe these are like the spoken word introductions to the album. Set this back up. Merry Christmas to you, and happy birthday to us. It's our fucking birthday. Whenever you want it to be. Should I do the... I'll do that one and keep it down, and then I'll throw the jacket on for it. I like throwing this jacket on. I got a jacket on this occasion. This is the anthem Impending Doom. And I got a song that keys into it, so maybe I'll just do that one first. It's a happier one, anyways. Life is just a spark in space, an episode of Will and Grace. Controversial yet mundane, never is messing with your brain. Even Scientologists know there's more to all of this. Search the ruins for trapdoors, find out what you're put here for. Simple as a hint of gas, climbing nostrils as you pass, making Harvard graduates feel childish when they laugh at it. So climb the rungs to kingdom come, from Sour Patch to Acid Tongue. Are you opposed to having fun? Don't clench the world between your buns. Your life was always the post of something else. Where is the present in the way that you present yourself? It's disgusting how little life should try. The existential equivalent of pink eye. So drink alone and watch TV. You're expecting harmony to tap your tune to silver spoons. The anthem of impending doom, guiding Satan's steady hand, forcing Beatles to disband. It's ego freaks and drama queens, young at heart, know what I mean. Beginner's mind is all it takes. And it works like a network. We're all feeding each other the answers among all the bullshit. Woo! People talk about talking shit. A lot of people talk shit, and people assume that the shit I'm talking is shit, but it's the good shit. You know, it's been confirmed. You know, talk to enough people that recognize it's the good shit, and then we talk more. It's like these. I was just watching these emergent talks between Elon Musk and this guy who's sitting down and being interviewed with, and they're like, "Well," and he's all, "Well, I've never considered or it's I have considered, but I haven't gotten a chance. I've not been posed that question, kind of thing, and I've not." I mean, I understand that. It's like having all this knowledge in you and sometimes not knowing exactly where to, what should I think about next? Almost like, what should I do next? And you sit down with someone who will actually ask the right questions. It's like, oh, great. So I was watching y'all do it, and then I was I was pointing out that, hey, we're doing that right now, actually. Someone's recording this. Who out there is having this conversation right now? So, the anthem we've been doing. I was doing this on the boardwalk in Brighton over the summer. So people just got angry at me for always being around playing my music, you know. Remember that? People started spreading rumors about me. Jesus Christ. A rumor mill during the COVID times will be the title of one of the unfortunate books I'm going to have to write about how rumors spiral. And the police in this town arrest only on suspicion. Enough suspicion of people are like, he's this fucking, he harasses people. Stop fueling untrue rumors, and I say all the time, it is a crime, prosecutable, to use the police to settle a personal vendetta. And again, I was just talking to someone who I won't name, because the last thing they said after talking to me for 45 minutes and giving me the Spanish Inquisition about, well, did you really say, I was like, I paused because I was like, what? And she was like, see? I was like, no, I'm just thinking, there's no way I said that. That I told someone else that this other person had been threatening to do that to my enemies, and I said, dude, don't, no way. And maybe through the telephone game, fearful-minded people, see? And that's just one bloody example. And at the end of the call, she was like, it just suddenly was just like, look, well, I appreciate that you were just calling to check in on me and see how I was doing. I don't want you to ever contact me again, and if you do, I will involve the police. I was just saying, I just wish it didn't have to, and it just click. And I was like, wow, my goodness. And if I ever try to reach out in any way ever again to just say, hey, can we perhaps talk about how it's a misunderstanding? I thought we were friends. You see how the rumors are affecting everyone. Have you forgotten who I am? You have. Everyone seems to have forgotten who I am. Just a baby still. And the people bowed and prayed to the neon gods they sign flashed out its warning in the words that it was forming, and the sign said the words of the prophet are written on the subway walls. because if I go too far into that one, there's a part I start screaming it. I was like, it's a protest song. Sorry, I'm protesting today right here by the courts. Sorry for all of them. I'm sorry, just had to. There's a couple songs I was doing zombie all day long. I was like, until someone pays me, I'm gonna keep doing the same song over and over. We get zombie on repeat all day for free. When someone pays me, I'll move on. Maybe I'll just do that to you guys. Another hand hangs slowly, child is slowly taken. When the violence causes silence, who are we mistaken? Can't you see it's not me, it's not my family? In your head, they are fighting with their tanks and their bombs and their bombs and their guns. In your head, they are dying. What's in your head? What's in your head? Zombie, zombie, zombie. Another mother breaking heart is overtaken. When the silence causes violence, we must be mistaken. It's the same old theme since 1916. In your head, they're still fighting with their tanks and their bombs and their bombs and their guns. In your head, they are crying. What's in your head? What's in your head? Reminds me of another song. That was the song I wanted to do next anyways. Oh! If I just throw this up on the Anton with NASA, Anton from NASA YouTube channel. That's just the name of the first video up there, but that's not even the most interesting one. And there's more. I was like bonus footage. Oh! I got stories to tell. I got other songs to sing. I like doing this when I have my NASA jacket. For many reasons. I can tell you a story of all these batches too. You know, this is great. When they gave it back from dry cleaning, they didn't even tell me what this one was. You know, that's cool. I was like, yeah, everything. Whoa, what's this? It's not even my favorite one. It's like my least favorite one. It's still my least favorite one. But someone said it reminded me of the Brighton Seagulls, so I'll take it. You know. I mean, this is a bold red, white, and blue here, and this is just this weak sauce. Like, you know, that's. Say what you will about it, but I mean, that symbol alone has a lot of power, doesn't it? Jesus Christ. Whew. Oh. Jesus Christ, Freedom Country. We got a song for all of you. Through the best of times, through the worst of times, through Nixon and through Bush, Do you remember 36? We went our separate ways. You fought for Stalin, I fought for freedom. You believe in authority, I believe in myself. I'm a Molotov cocktail, you're the dawn, very young, baby, what's that confused look in your eyes? What I'm trying to say is that I burned down buildings while you sat on a shelf inside of them. You call the cops on the looters and h0urs. You call it class war, I call you You watched in awe at the red, white, and blue on the 4th of July, while those fireworks were exploding. I was burning that fucker and waving my black flag high, eating the peanuts that the parties have tossed you in the backseat of your father's new Ford. You believe in the ballot, you believe in reform. You've got faith in the elephant and that jackass, and you solidarity is a 4-letter word. We're all hypocrites, but you're a patriot. You thought I was only joking when I was screaming, kill Whitey at the top of my lungs, at the cops in their cars and the men in their suits. No, I won't take your hand and marry the state, 'cause baby, I'm an anarchist. You're a spineless liberal. We march together for the 8-hour day and held hands in the streets of Seattle. But when it came time to throw bricks through that Starbucks window, you left me all alone. All alone. That song also just reminds me of some of the other songs that I want to, but you know what? I have to do it justice. And was I saying maybe cut it off? But you know what? Just gonna roll a zoot, anyways. And, I can always turn this video down later or something. Or maybe you guys are just so like, wow, what's this guy up to? That you're just interested at this point. Where did those papers go? Oh, it was in these pockets for sure. Oh man, I don't know how to bug them again. I just yeah, on the floor. There we go. Got it? Yeah, that's it. Alright. Let's see what I have here. Got a couple, just for cigarettes. I'll roll these. They're rolling tobacco here, on this stuff, basically. King Zoo. It's a king. I roll a king. I have enough backing for, I think that's what I should do. See those. And, yeah. Put in the interruption. Excuse me. My mom always said, You must behave as if you are skinning up a zoot with the queen. And you're about to, well, she didn't say that, but I'm just imagining the queen's probably over it all by now. I'm just like fucking the lids off her ass all the time. Like, fuck it, all the kids are sorry this time. You know, oh, I'm just tired of this whole nightmare. So my mom used to always say, you know, you eat as though you're having, this is my etiquette. I was raised in this kind of etiquette. Eat as though you're having tea with the queen, you know. Don't put your elbows on the table. But I made a solid argument for elbows on the table in a slightly different way. Like, that's okay. But yeah, elbows on the table traditionally is just like you're displaying that you're bored out of your mind. But you have your elbows on the table in an interested kind of way, or in conversation, or, you know, that's the thing. That's the thing, you know, about etiquette. That's the thing about etiquette. Right? Am I right? You know? I mean, I hope there's some good memers on this stuff, because, you know, it's all, I was trying to tell my friends, standing on the shoulders of giants, you know? That's all you need to know, that one phrase. I mean, there's a lot of phrases that it's like, well, that's all you need to know is that one phrase. And I'm telling people these things all the time, you know? And some people don't like to hear it, you know? It's kind of like this wake people up too fast kind of thing. They're just like, wah! They're not prepared, you know, and they're like on drugs and stuff, you know. I don't consider cannabis or ganja, as they've been calling it for 5,000 years. I don't consider it a drug. In Oregon, the state of Oregon just decriminalized all drugs. I saw this Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas meme. I shared it. I think I did. And it's like him looking out the back, like, while he's driving, like, backcountry. But it looks like they're backing up, and the meme is saying, get in kids, we're going to Oregon, or something like that. It's one of those, get in dude, get in everyone. There's so many different memes about get in kids where, because I mean, it evokes some dark humor too. A lot of things do, but that's what a lot of comics have always done. And then they've gotten a lot of shit from the people. I mean, and a lot of times people turn on them, even though they've just been providing comic relief to everyone their whole lives. I mean, I won't go around naming names. It might even just be all of us. It might be all of us comedic actors. Us, you know, we're trying to, and the only reason we end up getting up there is because we ended up accidentally earning it, you know. We've done enough good that I'm just talking about the people that kind of do it on their own, you know. Not the network executives that, Jesus Christ, who's that guy that had a fucking button under the desk in his office, and he would, and my friend Alicia has stories that are like so similar to that, of how she's been treated in the corporate workplace. Where it's, oh my God, I was like, that's on the same level as that dude with the button under his desk at NBC or whatever, you know? Oh, what horrible abuse of power. And you see where it came from, you know, the people that, you know, feel like they earned it because, you know, it's like that Good Will Hunting quote, you know, people spent so many of their resources on an education that could be picked up for free at a public library. And there are a lot of us doing that. And everyone's like, what about credentials? What about credentials? What about credentials? And these days, my God, I mean, now that we've consumed all the important books, it's like, the internet? Wow, my God. Oh, geez, there's just so much to see. Oh, there's just so many, and everyone's on Facebook is just telling you their every thought. Oh my goodness. What do we do about this? We are given too much room to be expected to do only good is another quote I like. Keith Buckley again. He also says, oh, what was it? I just started listening to that album. It's one of the few albums I actually had downloaded, X Lives, on my phone, because I don't have any money whatsoever to like reactivate Apple Music or get into. Oh my god, I'm just so fucking stranded. I at least have a roof over my head again. Oh, what a pity, now they're bound to make us saints. Oh, what a pity, now they're bound to make us saints. I also like the... I refuse to be the only man put to rest at a mass grave. I refuse to be the only man put to rest at a mass grave. You were all there with me. You were all there with me. You were all there with me. Keith Buckley. Activity. Who's home? Hey, Jay. Ooh. There was whiskey in the devil's blood, and there was blood in my cup. So I will make me a better grave. I will find my own way. Isn't that what y'all did? I'll find my own way. I'll make me a better grave. You all entombed yourselves in fear right now. You've all given into all the conditioning, social distancing, personal bubbles, and only the people you trust, who are they? And oh my god, I don't trust anyone. I don't need to. You guys all went through this whole fucking thing. Oh, and didn't analyze what you're going through. But I not only have always analyzed everything I'm ever going through, so that it can be behind me, so I can move on, move forward with my life. I've also been analyzing everyone else who's not doing that. It's like Arrested Development, like the TV show, but it's like a metaphor for everyone's like, they were a child and it got ruined and they're lashing out on everyone for things that aren't their fault. What a wonderful society can come from that. My god. Whoa. Phew, you get what you ask for. It's karma. This is global karma. Everyone, I mean, it's chaos theory. Life is the butterfly effect. Life is chaos theory. It's, Jesus, what would happen if you just let that into a dream? The universe experiencing itself subjectively, right? The dream of the universe. An imaginarium. All of the possibilities in a dream connected. Like all the stars and black holes as neurons in our collective mind. We're analyzing the framework of the dream instead of living the dream, basically. And every once in a while you meet someone that's like checked out society, and they're on a cabin, and they're taking their fucking kayak down to the river, just like all in. You pass them in your kayak, and you're like, hey, how's it going? And they're like, living the dream. And you're like, yeah, that's cliche, but okay, yeah. Row your boat gently down the stream, merrily. Life is but a dream. How much more simply can I say it? The stream, what the universe buddy wants, the universe is crying out too, while your collective subconsciousnesses are clamoring for safety and return to comfort in ways that are not contributive to the greater conscious collective good that is also screaming out, usually through the most connected psychedelic kind of users that are just like actually, like I said, like us, like wading through as unaffected as possible. Though wow, I've met a lot of people down here in the froth of it, in the kerfuffle down here, in the great, what was I calling it, the great scuffle of 2020. I've lost so much to the great scuffle of 2020, and so many like me have, especially the ones down here. There's so many of you that are up there and you're ivory towers and safe, you know. And geez, some of you, what have you done with your privilege that you've earned, with your earned privilege? Some of us just weren't done earning it yet. Morgan Freeman didn't hit the big time until he was in his 50s, you know. I was in a rush. I was like, oh shit, gotta go through all my tests. Okay, yeah, oh, damn, that happened. Ooh, felt that. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, I'm just trying to break on through to the other side here, Christ. Come on, break. Oh, it's like zombie apocalypse world my whole life. Oh my God. It's just, family, where are you? Beat me up, Scotty. Yeah. Another one I tell people sometimes is, I was talking about in another moment, I think, but it's the most theoretical physics is like the why of the physics. And, because it was all what was needed to get it to this point. Conscious evolution was the last step, and for fuck's sake, when you're going from primal, don't forget where you come from. You fucking monkeys out there, you like monkeys that have discovered language as another tool to use to oppress and manipulate and harm. Do no harm, remember? Careful what you say with your words. My mother always said, because my grandmother always said, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. But then I watched as they violated that very principle. But I remembered it. Every wise thing anyone's ever said. I tell people sometimes, I'll be like, oh, thank you so much. I'll share this. When I was homeless down there for like 4 weeks, everyone knew that, like, and then the homeless actually started hearing rumors about me and spreading rumors about me and turning on me, and you know, kept punching me in the face. My friend kept punching me in the face. You can't just, I was sitting down both times. You don't do that. It's like saying, I'm gonna get the first shot in and weaken you, and then let's fight. How many times do you want me to sit there and take that? I'm still not gonna fight you back. I'm not gonna give you what you want. It's my right to not give you what you want. It's a human fucking right. Sum it up that way, if you will. It's my right to not give you what you want. It's my right to live my life the way that I want to, as long as I'm not harming others. And I must think about how my actions, if everyone were to be doing the same thing, could lead to harm. And I better practice what I preach. So I better figure out the best and least harmful way to live my life. And sometimes when I'm just going around doing that and talking about that kind of stuff, people see it as I'm an intellectual threat to them or something. And they challenge me, they fight with me. I have to say, stop fighting with me. Look, just stop. That's your ego right there. Stop clashing with me. Just go ahead. Just say, oh, come on. Why do you... No. Because when I say go ahead, then it's crystal clear silence and you can speak, and then just go ahead. See, you're doing it again. I know it seems like I want to have the last word, but it's really because you want to have the last word. Just when I say, I know it seems like I know what it looks like, right? Like but someone's got to have the last word. And at least my last word is go ahead. I gave you a microphone and said, go ahead. We're on this podcast together. Stop bickering with me. But she's amazing. I'm not gonna say who she is. I don't want to make her look. She's the sweetest person. Also, like, I mean, that's why we're talking about all these deep things about more for another time. It might be too political. So, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. At one point, I mean, I always end up doing my favorite song, so I have to, like, I do. Really should I do that? And sometimes there's a couple people I was talking to Amanda, and she was almost like, you know, we're wanting to share things back and forth about what, you know, we're working on her TikTok videos, and I'm like, that's you, yes, right on, free, you know, that's what I wanted to see, love it, and she's collaborating with people, and it's just so much fun. She's been doing so much, and so have I, and I was like, well, this is the one, and she's like, oh, is this the Hannah song? And I was like, yeah, this is the Hannah song. Goes out to me. I recently departed best friend, Hannah Maya Chipperfield, aged 23. And when I was singing that other song, so you wish for a picture of all the people that you've ever had, that you've had the pleasure to know, or a postcard from all of the places you've ever wanted to go, saying you are here now on this magical night. The sunset, well, it's such a stunning sight. You can't sleep safely and soundly, and you are loved. And nothing ever does begin, like nothing ever ends. Ask every atom in your body, and they'll surely tell you, friend, I'm oldest time and older still. And you are made of everything you love, you feel, or kill. I will outlive you and forgive you and be just a baby still. Remember that. So, this song right here, oh, every verse of it just reminds me of so many stories, not only from my life, but from other people's lives, and sometimes in very collective ways. Like, keep waving at the taxis, they keep turning their lights off, and I'm just like, so many stories in my life, and to do with Hannah too. There was a night that this man Charlie saved her life. I was on the phone with her by calling her a taxi and helping her home when she was about to go into a full-on diabetic ketoacidosis attack. And I heard her throw up 3 times on that call, and I was just like, fuck's sake. I'm on Google at the same time, like, is there any way I can like use my Uber to call her a cab there? Where are you? Is there anyone walking by? I know it's late. Oh, jeez. And she was hauling around this telescope to, just taking pictures of the stars for me, so I felt almost guilty that it was even because of me that she was out there, but they were all lined up, the planets and everything lined up just a certain way, and she wanted to capture it for me. The kind of heart that she had, and the kind of love we had for each other. But also, if you've ever been in a city and you've been a victim of systemic racism where you're seen as a threat for one reason or another, usually, it's mislabeling. They don't know who you are, but they make a quick judgment. So a taxi with its light on for hire might turn it off when they see you waving for it to act like they just got a fare, but they just turn the corner and pop it back on, and they just skip over you. And because you've seen that happen enough times to others, and you're like, at first it's like when you're driving and a light bulb turns off right when you go under it, and you're like, did I do that? But then you're like, statistically speaking, if you drive enough, which I did, it'll happen every so often. But sometimes I was like, I'm noticing all the time now. I'm noticing every single time it ever happens to me. And it seems like a lot. Am I driving that much? Am I just catching all of them? I'm just catching all of them. I don't know. A little paranoid about who might knock on the door sometimes. Sometimes when people ask if there's anything wrong with it, everyone's like, PTSD, if I hear a body worm can come on, I'm like, boop, boop, boop. I'm like, whoop. And at the same time, I'm like, oh, constables, hi. What is it this time? Oh, okay, could you just check it on me this time? Thank you. Yeah. Oh, big just below freezing 3 nights in a row. They have to put me somewhere, okay. So they probably know that too. They probably know that they're gonna have to put me somewhere eventually, and they should probably just hurry up. But chaos theory, like I was saying earlier, when the butterfly flaps its wings. And that's karma too. The more you create instances in other people's dreams of you being a positive surrounding, the more that has an effect on their own lives. And when you talk again, like my friend Steven, we hadn't talked in a few months, and we just kind of picked up right where we left off. Same with all my friends. Yeah. How are you doing lately? Yeah, what's really going on? Oh my God, really? What? And they did what? Oh. Tell me about it. No, really, tell me about it. Yeah, get it off your chest. I know it's difficult to talk about, but don't worry, I'm not judging. I mean, we've all been through a lot of shit in our lives, haven't we? And this is a song about all that shit in our lives. It was in February this year. Bought her a snowboard because I thought we'd have at least one more season there. And beam stoked. We had so many stories about that place alone, you know. Hannah passed away at 23 years old. No one will tell me exactly how. But I know her diabetes was bad, and I know she'd been attacked recently by someone. She wouldn't tell me who. She showed me the marks on her back. And I don't know any more than that. Because no one knew how close we were. Because her jealous boyfriend, Joel, who she was in an open relationship with, was always teetering on killing himself. And Hannah would say he just decided in this last April that he actually wants to live. It was this big breakthrough for him, but she feels like a caretaker to him. And she's just trying to have as much of a life as possible. And well, when he even got a whiff that her and I might have a real bond, he started, at first he didn't know until I met him. He just assumed I was just some internet stranger friend. But then when he meets me, he sees me as this huge threat to him instead of a positive. And that sets off this huge chain of events that has attempted to destroy my reputation in its collective efforts. And ground zero is Joel for that viral plague on my life. And no, I've never threatened him. I have this guy, Dougie, who, old Scottish man, well, if you ever want me to take him to Beachy Head and give him a shove. And I was like, dude, don't talk like that. Fuck no. Thanks for the offer, but Jesus. And anyway, of course that would come back to me. Fuck's sake. But then I'm like trying to check in with Hannah's friends that I knew, and they've heard that I was threatening to. I'm just like, how did that? I mean, I had told people that had happened, that maybe I shouldn't have told the truth about what Dougie said. I needed people to know that. I mean, that was to keep me safe too. Like, Jesus Christ, this guy, if anything happens, is this guy was offering to push all my enemies off of Beachy Head. And somehow through the fearful telephone game that happens. Do no harm, do no harm. Why would I ever want to sever someone's connection to this for their chance to learn? So we can all learn from our collective mistakes, not just our own, but everyone's. Once you start doing that, it's game over. We all finish. We're done. I mean, have I given you enough ways to escape? Yeah. The trap in your minds. The whole world's waking up. I got a song about that too. I'm gonna have to do that one after this one. And then that reminds me of another song. It's just my album, kind of like, but you know, the original recording of it, and it's kind of like if I was writing a book, and then I was always going to narrate it, and here's also the video of that. Here's the book. And since I know all of the history, and every time someone, I don't know, I'm not a know-it-all, and there's a lot of trivia I don't know, but I know, I mean, I can go toe-to-toe in any conversation about anything, really, and because anything I don't know, I'm like, oh, well, what's that? And I incorporate it, you know, into my knowledge, every time, my whole life. It was like collecting wisdom. I was saying you have to listen and then you have to understand. And once you do, you have wisdom, but you also have to understand wisdom. And the wisdom to understand what it means to understand. You have to funnel your way up to that point of consciousness, you know, to your tether in the heavens. How many roads must a man walk down before you'll call him a man? The answer is all of them. Even if it's just through true empathy. But then from being this polarizing figure, as people like to call people like us. Even they say of Donald Trump, well, he's a polarizing figure, isn't he? You love him or you hate him. And if you hate him, you tend to overlook some of the good things he's done. Like, he's pulling out of everything. He pulled out of the Paris thing, but now we just put back in and no one was following that shit anyways. And he pulled out all the weapons deals, you know? I watched the cabinet thing, and they were like, yeah, people were talking about that for a minute. And I was like, well, he did? Did he? Well, I've been wanting that to happen. I'm not going to praise him. But I was like, thank you. Is that true? Thank you. Congrats, well done. This is my favorite song. Very nice. I know that it is freezing, but I think we have to walk. I keep waving at the taxis, they keep turning their lights off. But Julie knows a party at some actor's West Side Lawn. Supplies are endless in the evening, by the morning they'll be gone. When everything is lonely, I can be my own best friend. Get a coffee and the papers, have my own conversations with the pavement and the pigeons and my window reflection. The mask I polish in the evening, by the morning looks like shit. You're looking skinny like a mole, with your eyes all painted black. Just keep running to the bathroom, always say you'll be right back. Well, it takes one to know one, kid. I think you've got it back. 'Cause what was easy in the evening, by the morning is such a drag. I've got a flask inside my pocket, we can share it on the train. And if you promise to stay conscious, I will do the same. Yeah, we might die from medication, but we sure killed all the pain. 'Cause what was normal in the evening and the morning, it seems insane. And I know you have a heavy heart, I can feel it when we kiss. So many men stronger than me have thrown their backs out. China left dead by me. I'm not a gamble. You can count on me to split the love I sell you in the evening. My morning won't exist, and I'm not sure what the trouble was that started all of this. The reasons all have run away, but the feeling never did. It's not something I would recommend, but it is one way to live. As what was normal by the moonlight, by the morning, never did. But what was normal by the moonlight was so normal by the moonlight was so waving at the taxis, they keep turning their lights off. The Julie party started. Julie party at some actors, West Side Line supplies a endless and the papers. Have your own conversations with the pigeons and the pavement and your window reflection, and ask you promise in the evening by morning won't exist. Hannah had the roughest case of diabetes I'd ever met in my life. Diagnosed at 3 years old. Genetic complications that complicated everything. Made it hard to manage because she was also putting herself out there in every way that she could, despite all the abuse that she'd suffered when she was 4. Traumatic sexual abuse when she was 12. Traumatic sexual abuse. Both times at the hands of adults. First time a woman in her 40s, second time a man, 19, when she was 12, in an asylum section because of dealing with all the other, I mean, fuck's sake, what a first trust fall. Trusting people and then not happening, and then trusting people again and then not happening, and trusting people again and then horrible things happening. And it was just like, gotta fix this all as fast as possible. It's the way she lived. It was the pleasure of my life to have known her. This is ask us about Colorado. Teaching her how to snowboard. Taking her to Santa Fe, showing her Meow Wolf, exploring that wonderland. Was everyone just jealous or something? We would have wanted to take everybody. Build one here too. Everyone's trying to keep us down. It stemmed from the jealousy of one man who'd been with her for 5 years. Who saw me as a threat to he would lose everything if Anna disappeared from his life. He'd positioned himself that way with a family and everything. I mean, he was rumor central. Why'd it have to be like that? I actually kind of liked him at first. Really connected. One of our people, we all said. And Joel went off. We all met for a couple hours, few hours at Devil's Dyke Pub. And then had a spliff in the camper van that Hannah and I had purchased and built out together. Hello. We have this whole history. We've been talking every day since last summer. All day long. And she would say, never too much. Tell me all your thoughts. And then I gotta go to sleep. But tell me everything. I'll wake up to in the morning. And oh, it was so lovely to talk to you. That's how we started. That's what y'all destroyed. When I say my best friend, the love of my life, take me seriously. I was almost like, did I even sing that song yet? I did, right? Shit, maybe I should do it again. Let's sink in this time. I want to do it again. Fuck it. That was my rehearsal. It's my favorite song, and one of the lessons I try to teach people is you can get better at things every time. Every time you do something, you learn from what you liked and didn't like about that experience. And it's progress. I almost want to run through all my songs in reverse order now. There you go, first half, and we'll run back through. Now with the deeper meaning to everything. In fact, that sounds like a wonderful plan. A good use of Zoop. My mama always said, don't waste the high, share your high. Share my high. Do my favorite thing. Embodying what I preach, what I say, what I mean, embodying what I mean, putting the mean in embody, embodying the means, embodying all the means, to an end, to a conclusion, to this book, the story of all of this that I could write. I mean, everything has so many meanings. Double and triple and hundreds, and for fuck's sake, it just goes on and on and on and on. And infinite. It's progression that starts to lose the meaning, I'm going back through all my songs here. Now you know that one again. It's a picture of all the people I've ever had the pleasure to know, and I'd like to imagine those random people snowboarding and skiing in the background of my friends too. That just populated this image with my friends. But there's my best friend right there. Running the show. It's our party. And I had that rucksack stolen from me. I was punched in the face by someone who'd heard some of the rumors and thought he'd take it out on me. And they stole that rucksack, and that's how I know when the police came, because other people saw it happen. And they were like, oh my God, are you alright? I was like, yeah. And they're like, we're called the police. I was like, okay, thanks. And the police were like, what was stolen? I was like, well, it's here. And I had a smaller version of this in my wallet, which was also now stolen. Everything's been stolen from me. And I was like, it looks like this. This is, I had one just like it. We both bombed together. before or after our trip to Wales. It was when we were decking out that van, and we had a little getaway van, little Ford Transit that's still at the Chipperfield's place in Chichester, I think. She gave me the remote fob back to it recently, and that was in a bag that got pinched off me. So, I mean, even her last few interactions with me, she was trying to take care of me as much as possible. Here, you'll need this. Here's that fob back. I was like, well, I don't feel like I can go there right now. They're still charging me with harassment for telling John to look in on you. Sternly. Sorry, brother. He's talking to you like a brother would. Dude, I don't care what anyone says. Go talk to her yourself. That's all I was just like, dude, I'm really fucking worried about her. Hello. She's my best friend, the love of my life, and she's telling me she's getting drugged in there. That's what she's telling me, and I'm telling you. I was on the phone with her when she passed out. She's like, yeah, it's really strong. I'm like, can you stand up and stay awake? She's like, I can't stand up. I was like, well, can you sit up straight in bed? She's like, I am. I was like, well, let's just, keep talking, try to stay awake then. Oh my God. And she's like, it's so much stronger than last time. I said, okay, let's just keep talking. And then she was responding. She's like, yeah, I'm trying, I am. Good idea. And then suddenly I had said something and she didn't respond. I was like, Hannah. And I hung up and I called 999 and I called for an ambulance and that never went through. And then the next few days I just kept trying to send an ambulance, kept trying to get a different person, and they just never made it through. I was just like at my wit's end. And then I'm second guessing, should I have, now knowing that I didn't realize it until later, but should I have just not hung up that phone and stayed on and just listened to what happened next? Did people come in? What were they saying? She had this active line. Or would they have noticed and hung up right away? But then when she thought she was going to be getting out of there in time for her birthday too, and then they found out we were still talking. She had me on speaker and I was getting to know the people in there, and she told me later they all seemed like, police, undercover police, the way they were all acting and had their different stories, and I've been experiencing that too. Undercover people. Ugh, it's not paranoia when it's really happening. Seagull, wait. Fucking government drones are acting. Supposed to be completely out of here. Wouldn't be right if I didn't roll fresh soup. Coffee and papers, have my own conversation, bathing, televisions, and it's tea. There's a tea and papers over here. Papers. Get coffee and papers and with bathing on pigeons and window reflection. The mask I polish in the evening, by the morning looks like shit. Just a minute, you lot. Sorry. Pardon the interruption. It's just a temporary intermission in the television show that you're watching where you just left the cameras on. Whatever, it's like, oh, what's behind the scenes? What happens when they go, we're having an intermission, and it's time to go back and have a Zoot together. But I'm just, I took the camera with us. My neighbor's next door. I'm not totally alone here, but and then there's all the people that I'm talking about who are with me. And I say all the time, Hannah's still with me, yo. early on we were calling each other like each other's AI. Like, oh my god, it's like you're in my head. And her middle name was Maya, and it was spelled M-A-I-A. Maya. So there's a AI in there. And my middle name was Alvin, so there's like a little AI in there too. So in both of our middle names, there's an AI. I mean, we're just noticing patterns all over the place. Won the bloody lottery, but she's just like these patterns, and like my social security number is her birthday in a different order, and a lot of other things like that were happening. I was just like, wow, this is nuts. And then she just said, like, you should, well, maybe you should like think about playing the lottery on this or something. And I was like, no. Like, my dad always said you might as well set it on fire. I don't believe in the lottery. But the next day I couldn't get it out of my head. I was like, well, in this lucid dream, maybe that was just like, okay. And so I played all these fucking numbers. I played all the different ones, and I picked like, oh, I can fit these in here and there. And then the first one to play was the afternoon. There's a pick 3, and it's an afternoon and an evening drawing. And her birthday, 5/22, May 22nd, the American way of doing it, played, and it came out. I was like, what? Shit, I didn't do that one. I didn't do your fucking birthday. Oh, fuck's sake. You're like the key to all of us. And fuck, But I stopped panicking. I said, oh, wait a second. This one plays again in the evening. Just for shits and giggles. I'm going to buy one more ticket, and I'm going to buy my birthday, 416, because the real pattern is we're all related in this. And I mean that all of us, but I also mean we're all related in this, like her and I. Our relation in all this was so profound. I was volunteering for the Bernie Sanders campaign for 5 years, and she was in Extinction Rebellion over here. And she was always like, what the hell did Trump just say? I'm like, I know, right? And I was like, what about fucking Boris Johnson's just what? And Hannah's like, yeah, 10 years of Tory policy will do that. And by the way, that austerity defunded the NHS badly enough that they took away her insulin pump. And Hannah said it made a 500% difference on the quality of her life. And I take that seriously. Wow. She's a researcher, and she knows herself better than anything. So right there, when you want to talk about taking care of Hannah, I was trying to see if we could raise the money for one, and then she found out that they would potentially reduce her other funding that she relied on because it would be seen as going outside of the NHS's prescribed care routine for her. Because they said, oh, well, you're not managing it well enough to deserve this, and the funding's being cut, and so we have to, take away this massive benefit they were used to. So not only when we talk about caring for Hannah, not only would the remainder of her life have that higher of a quality, but she, with that ease of management, would have for sure lived a lot longer. I even came up with a better treatment for hypos for her. That just right away she was like, yeah, that makes sense. Thank you. There's some better routines, right, that she could just self-implement. And I was helping her with that. And came up with a theoretical artificial pancreas for type 1 diabetics that I made a YouTube video about and explained. And she's like, yeah. And she's watched all of the things I've ever, but even when we were arguing about something, she was like, yeah, I'm keeping up with everything you've done, So when those initial rumor mill things were happening, and Joel's so upset that I was offering her the flat that I just paid for 6 months in advance, and said, hey, you can stay and Joel can even come. But he saw that I was moving towards this long run plan to move in with her. And in fact, the day she ended up getting sectioned was the day that she told Joel she was moving out and moving in with me, and then she sectioned. Because it's like her family had this whole like Rick and Morty, like, keep Hannah safe ship around her. And Hannah knew it. Keep Hannah safe. Is this American a threat to Hannah? Seems like he wants to take her out of this bubble. Wants to remove her from this keep Hannah safe ship. Hannah didn't want to be kept safe. She wanted to go fucking balls to the wall. You know? And I was coming up with all kinds of ways, and through our conversation together, we were coming up with all kinds of ways for all kinds of things to make life better around us for everybody, but also for her at the same time. But to keep Joel safe, because he kept threatening to fucking kill himself, we kept our relationship secret. And she didn't even want her family to find out. And then she told her therapist of 5 years. And then, wow, then I'm arrested on suspicion of stalking her. Ugh. Seriously, if anything, she was stalking me. Towards the end, she would always come up with me. I would be sitting there by the basketball court, minding my own, talking to friends, had my ukulele with me, and she'd come up in a yellow jumper and say, hey, do you want to talk for a minute? That's how the last time I saw her went. And we sat down by the, she's like, here, she's looking for a place tucked away. She's saying the police are always watching everything I'm doing. So. In this reserved UK culture that's afraid to talk about its problems. And Hannah has the worst problems. And everyone reacts as though the best thing is to give her this safe little sheltered, protected life. And I was a disturbance to that. They hated the fact that she flew over to see me for 3 weeks in Colorado. I might give her a taste of this dream that she could never have. Well, she can never have it if you keep keeping her away from it. That's the truth. She's here, she might as well have that dream. And that's the only dream she wanted. It's the only dream I wanted. It's the only dream we wanted. She wrote a song about it last summer. She just came up with it like immediately. She just blurted out a song about being hyper sane. It's called Hyper Sane. There's a part that goes, tell them your stories, tell them you're mine. Let's hope they don't get left behind. She's planting the codes and keys in my head the whole time. In my lucid dream, I had Hannah, who lucid dreamt when she slept. Who lucid dreamt when she slept. In my lucid dream, I had Hannah, who lucid dreamt while she slept. One time, I woke her up, and she was taking a nap in my office, and she said, just give me like 15 more minutes. I'm working on your business in here. I was like, okay, I don't know what the hell. But I will wake up in 15 then. Okay. She said, thank you. I love you. We loved each other to death. Yo. Dude. Always reminds me of that Tool song. Who are you to wave your finger? You must have been out your head. Eyeballs deep in muddy water. You practically raised the dead. what's the difference? Kangaroo done hung the line. Jury with the innocent. Steal, borrow, reefer, savior, shady and friend. Pissed all over my black kettle. You must have been high. You must have been high. So who are you to wave your finger? Who are you to wave your fatty fingers at me? Since we're on the topic. I always tell people, oh, even there were some women that was a woman constable that was like, and I was on body cam, and I was just like, excuse me, could you just, it's kind of aggressive, you're shaking your hand at me, your finger. I mean, could you just put your hand down by your side like mine? You're already wearing a uniform. And it's usually fucking men, and like, put your hand down, de-escalate, bro. But sometimes they've already gotten so like physically aggressive. I've survived about 180 assaults where I would categorize them as attempts on my life if they would have gotten their fucking fatty fingers on me. Oh yeah. I had to survive someone chucking a half empty bottle. Fuck. Okay, wow. Someone reached for a recycling bin and I caught their eye looking at it, knowing the reach could mix. I said, I saw you about to grab that bottle. I know you're kind. And he stopped. He was like deer in the headlights. Just you never know who it is that you're coming after like that. I mean, I did just catch your thought the moment you had it, because I'm paying that close of attention to everyone's surroundings and what's going on in your own head when you're lambasting me. I say all the time, if you just want to release all the CCTV in this fucking town, you can just watch. Release all those body cams, just watch. Have a field day, pick through it. You know, so many examples of literally goddamn everything. Times where I'm like, are you all behaving as if this is going to go to the Supreme Court of the United States? Because I am. So start behaving that way. It's on camera. And then in the interview room, because I'd been saying that all day, the interviewer turns to my solicitor and says, concerns me that he thinks this can go to the Supreme Court of the United States. And I said, what was that little sidebar you just had in front of me where you are talking to my duty solicitor who works for me, who if I say out of the room, he has to leave? Because I could have said no, and I can. And I'm a UK citizen, and my tax dollars and my VAT and this is all public judicial system, and that's why you're here. And you technically work for me because you work for a structure that is there to protect and serve the people. So when I say, just because nothing ever has crossed over to the Supreme Court of the United States based on me as a dual national UK and US citizen, and I have certain inalienable rights that I am used to against unwarranted search and seizure, the right to free speech, because I've ever only used my words, is still, I am now the ultimate victim here, though I never act that way, of violence inherent in the system. Now you see the violence inherent in the system. Oof. And it's not me. It's not me. I'm like, now you see the violence inherent in the system? Don't you dare. Don't you dare make it look like that's what I meant. The answer, my friend, is a dagger in the wind, splintering like shards beneath your skin. It's just a little, like, we're messing around with some of the words. So we do that with sometimes with different times. With my friend Ian, we toyed around with a Pink Floyd song. Hey, Boris, leave them kids alone. We don't need no vaccinations. I mean, the point there, too, is just, if we just deal with the viruses, we don't need any vaccinations. We just don't have viruses. And vaccinations are a potential solution to a problem that we don't need to have in the first place, just by self-isolating and quarantining for a little while. I mean, this whole thing could have been over in 2 bloody fucking weeks. Now there are these month lockdowns, and people are like, just stay home. Already, I still see people how many times is it gonna take to learn? They're just gonna keep doing this fucking stress test lesson to you guys over and over until you get it. So come on, let's flip the board. Stop playing Monopoly. Stop playing hurt each other. Stop playing capitalism. Stop playing that game. Stop playing capitalism. It's just a game you chose. It's a sub game. Oof. To what end? Why? And then you're never satisfied, and you still, I mean, it's how you spend your life. Never satisfied. I'm satisfied anywhere I go. I'm just like, it's just nice to be indoors for once. Oh, it's just nice to be outside today. Or, it's just nice to be in your company. Oh, that's the world I want to live in. It's just nice, and we can't. Oh, it's just, hi. Oh, well, what do you think about? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I was there for, yeah, seriously. Oh, yeah. Interesting shit, dude. Right. I'm gonna write a song about that now. Oh, man, imagine that as a video game. Oh, yeah, that'd be sick. Oh, that comic book thing about a video game one day. Yeah, let's write the story for it. Oh, yeah, send me the characters. Can we talk on the phone about it? Because then you can really describe, like, kind of like philosophy of education, communicate as much as you can as few words as possible. Sometimes it's inflection that does a lot, and you don't get that over text. And it's choppy, and you have to delete things, and oops, you'll get it, But I was like, even voice memos, that's great. I communicate a lot of friends. Hannah and I would do voice memos and video memos as much as possible. I mean, dude, we talked thousands of communications a day, for months. And people were investigating as if, based on this, all false assumptions, nothing but false assumptions about us. What we get from being private. Right, well, keep it to yourself. So we're reserved about it. We're exactly like, we won't. It's just our thing, Our safe space. We had a safe space together, And y'all destroyed it. Y'all tore it to shreds. She wrote a song about it, Lucid, by Hannah, on SoundCloud. It's hard to find, but you can find it really nice. About how she felt when the police were tearing us apart. She was sending me all these gifts in the mail to my office and made this video on YouTube, the link just for me. It said, for my best friend. And it was all these clips from all our adventures. Us driving in the car together, talking and laughing. At Meow Wolf, this really cool. And she put it was just a song that was meaningful and went with the theme of it all. It had really great timing with all the things that she did. It was just wonderful. And sent me a star, bought me a star, but made sure it was she spent extra, she said, she found an extra bright star. And I hope it's still in that office. I haven't been able to check on my stuff there. I think rolling piano. Oh, man. So I'd love to start playing the piano again. That's the one I first learned when I was 6. And ukulele is like the easiest thing. It's great, you know. Everyone just learn the ukulele. You do punk rock songs on it. You can do it all. It's not just a little beachy Hawaiian thing, you know. It's a mini guitar. People just call it a little guitar sometimes. Like, oh, you got your little guitar? Yeah. Thank you for calling it right back. Alright, might as well work this backwards. For Hannah, my Black Swan lighter. It's the new Hannah lighter. Hannah, my edge of the field. Best friend. I know that it is freezing, but I think we have to walk. I keep waving at the taxis, they keep turning their lights off. But Julie knows a party at some actor's West Side Law. Supplies are endless in the evening, by the morning they'll be gone. You're looking skinny like a model with your eyes all painted black. Just keep running to the bathroom. Always say you'll be right back. Well, it takes one to know one, kid. I think you've got it back. 'Cause what was easy in the evening, by the morning is such a drag. And I know you have a heavy heart. I can feel it when we kiss. So many men stronger than me have thrown their backs out, trying to lift it, but me, I'm not a gamble. You can count on me to split the love I sell you in the evening, by the morning won't exist. I've got a flask inside my pocket. We can share it on the train. And if you promise to stay conscious, I will do the same. Yeah, we might die from medication, but we sure killed all the pain. 'Cause what was normal in the evening, by the morning seems insane. And I'm not sure what the trouble was that started all of this. The reasons all have run away, but the feelings never did. It's not something I would recommend, but it is one way to live. 'Cause what was normal by the moonlight, by the morning have my own conversations with the pigeons and the pavement and my window reflection, the mask I polish in the evening light. Morning looks like shit. Ooh, it's about to end right at 2:07. I think that's perfect.